Testing 1, 2, 3. Okay, here we go. I'm going to show you today how to solo test your Magic Gathering decks. I've got here 2 Commander decks. Welcome to MTG Ownage. Please subscribe for more Commander stuff. This is a really simple concept. It's pretty obvious. I've got a life counter here on my phone, so that makes it easy. So basically, say you're in a situation where you've got Magic decks and they're physical ones, they're not online, and you want to test them, but you don't really have anyone to play against. Maybe you're stuck in isolation. Maybe your friends are all lame and scared of things. Who knows? But you've got a situation where you can't do much. So I've got a commander deck over here of Rasheen Meanderer, and this is an X spell deck, and I've got some new Ikoria cards in it, so I want to test those out and test that. And I've also got a mono green commander Yorvo deck. These are 99 card decks with 1 commander, 1 general, and I've got some new cards in here like Vivian, Monsters Advocate. So I just want to play these decks against each other and see who wins, and that'll give me some idea of what's going on. So I'm going to do Rasheen over on the left side, claiming the left side, and I'm going to do Yorvo over on the right side, kind of claiming the right side. So you just need to get a system set up where you can kind of make sense of what your cards are. I wouldn't advise having the same kind of sleeves. These are actually a little different. These ones are darker, so I can kind of tell the difference. They're not exactly the same. And you know, you just do your standard of shuffling up, and what you have to do is you have to get into the mindset of 2 different players. So that's actually kind of important. You don't want to be well, let's just say it will compromise the integrity of the gameplay if you know your opponent's hand, because obviously you're going to be able to see both hands, but you're going to have to pretend from the other side, like when you're playing Yorvo, you're going to have to pretend that you don't know what cards Rasheen is handling, for example, or in the hand. You know, you can see how many, but you shouldn't make decisions based on the knowledge of the cards. That might be hard for some people to separate, but it's something you've got to do for this to be actually accurate. So I've done a little shuffling. I should probably do more shuffling. I don't want to sit here shuffling all day, but it does give me time to talk and do a little bit of an intro. So this is a different style of video for me, but I think I'm going to get the point across. I think you probably already get it for the most part. You want some dice and stuff at the ready. This gets confusing super quick. So having things like this life counter assistant just ready to go focus on it, you'll see it. And this is just a Magic life counter from the App Store. We'll just make it a lot simpler because you're gonna keep track of 2 boards, so you can't assume you're gonna remember everything. You're gonna need some counters and all of that stuff. So just a little FYI becomes even doubly important when you're doing this, because trying to keep track of 2 things at once is very difficult. So all right, I'm just gonna shuffle like 3 more times here. 1, 2, 3. And maybe we'll do one quick bridge thing here. Do that. So let me know in the comments below, how long have you been playing Magic for? What's your favorite format? What cards are you looking to see? What cards are OP? What kind of video should I do next? I don't know, just leave me a comment. You can say anything you want. I'll probably read it. Thank you so much for all the support so far on this channel, guys. It really does mean a lot. All right, let's get into this game. So first of all, we want to see who goes first. So there's multiple ways of doing it. You can roll a dice, you can just decide, you can whatever you want to do. I'm going to hit the random button on this, and it looks like left side Rasheen has 1. So Rasheen is going to go first. We're going to start with 30 life because we're doing 1v1 commander. And let's draw our 7 cards over here. And there we go. I'm going to just lay them out so that you can see them on the camera. This is the opening hand of Rasheen. Not a very good hand, only 2 lands. Nothing to really cast. Yeah, we're going to mulligan that. We're going to do the 1 free mulligan rule. I like that rule in Commander. 1 free mulligan is nice. Let's do a quick shuffle up here. And split the deck up a little, get a different hand going. And I don't know, whatever, that's random enough. I'm not trying to be too meticulous. This isn't a tournament. So we've already got, just these 3 cards is already better than the last hand. So that's just the reason why you mulligan sometimes. Sometimes you'll get just a couple cards that already make your way better than your previous hand. We've got 3 lands, we've got a rampant growth, That allows us to cast Rasheen. This is a good hand. Okay, so Rasheen's happy. Let's see if Yorvo's happy. We got some mana critters, we got some mana, and we got Bonder's Enclave. More mana. We'd really like to see another forest there, but since we can start the game with Leyline of Abundance in play, and our Leafkin Druid can tap for even more mana, we've got an excellent starting hand over here on Yorvo's side. Sorry for the blurriness. I don't really have a whole lot of control over it. Unfortunately, whoever designs autofocus algorithms puts a ton of priority on the corners, apparently, because it's always focusing on some little tiny detail in the corner and throwing off the whole blurriness. Logitech, fire someone or hire me. This is a pretty straightforward thing. It's just going through you just go through every little pixel and you make decisions. Can you just weight it towards the center? Weight the focus towards the center. It's that simple. It's a very, very standard computer science thing. Jeez, it's really frustrating. And that would like solve almost all of my problems, I think, with this autofocus. So very like, who on earth decides they want to focus on something way in the corner and on their camera? Nobody, ever. Why is that in your algorithm? Are you guys brainless? No, I don't want to insult them, but I already have. But that's what it takes sometimes to get change. You got to tell people, hey, this sucks. It sucked for years. Everyone's afraid to say anything about it. So here I am saying anything about it. Thumbs up for saying stuff about things that need said. All right? All right, let's get on to the game. Enough ranting. So Rasheen goes first. No draw. I think we're going to start Wooded Foothills. Crack it immediately, losing a life. Now you can't see that life counter, but maybe occasionally it will come into view. I'm going to move the deck over a little more just to give me a little more space. I know you can't see the yard over here, but I'm just going to back this up a little bit so you guys can see more. That's about how high as this goes. I get a little more wobbly up here, but okay, we're cracking that, and we're just going to get one of our dual tap lands, like a shock land or something. So we'll just try to do that quickly. And I'm just going to blast through this game and talk the whole time. So that's going to be the rest of this video, is basically just playing my Rasheen versus Yorvo solo and getting to test both decks. Come on. This is me searching through my library. I'm just pulling a little at a time so I don't have to pick up the whole thing. Alright, looks like we're going to have to go to the bottom half. That's where all the dual tap forest must be. There's a stomping ground. I'd honestly rather have the cycling one. I have the cycling one in this deck. And there it is. We're going to get a sheltered thicket into play tapped there. So that's our first turn. I don't really want to overthink this shuffling and take forever. Whatever, good enough. I know that's not, someone's going to rage about that, but I just don't want to keep continually shuffling all the time, and that one's done. So there we go. Oh, we did start the game over here with Leyline of Abundance in play. And now we get to play a forest, and that's all we can do. We don't have any 1-drops, but we got some good mana critters that are going to go super well with that Leyline real soon. So we should have a solid start. They're going to pass next turn. Back to Rasheen here. We're going to play a land, a forest, and we're going to cast Rampant Growth Sorcery to get yet another land into play tapped. I think we're going to make it a forest. So let's just snag a forest. There's a snow-covered one. And shuffle up real quick. And we're going to be good here. Okay, we'll just give it a cut. And that is done. So back to Yorvo. Yorvo draws the Beastmaster's Ascension, could come in handy. But for now, we're going to play our only other land, the Bonder's Enclave. Bonder's Enclave. And Leafkin Druid. And Leafkin Druid we'll start with the Leyline buff of being able to tap for 2. So I'll pull these up real quick in case you don't need and want to pause and read what they do. So what they do, all right, there you go. So passing turn back to Rasheen. Rasheen draws a Tectonic Giant. This is a new addition. Just added this to the deck. Being able to exile your top 2 cards and play them until the end of the turn is huge card advantage, and that's what this deck needs. It often runs out of gas. So we're going to play our Mountain. And we have some options here. We could play the Giant. We could play Rasheen. If we play Rasheen, we could do a big cast of Lifeblood Hydra next turn. Because we could do it even bigger later with Doubling Cube, which is a sweet card in this deck. So we've got options here. We have to make decisions. This is often the struggle of Rasheen, is just making this decision of which one to play. I think I'm going to play Rasheen. No, I'll do it next turn. I'm going to play Tectonic Giant. I want to get the card advantage rolling quickly because I don't have any more land drops. And I want to get more land drops. So maybe I can get some land drops with the Exile. Let me see if it does that. Until the end of the turn, you may play that card. Yeah, it doesn't say cast the spell, it says play the card. So if you get lands, you can play them. Alright, passing back to Yorvo's side here. Let's see what Yorvo draws an Auspicious Starix, which will no doubt come in handy later. Nice Elk Beast. Leafkin taps for 2 green, and we got another green there with that forest. So I think we're going to continue the ramp and go ahead and get this Landwar Tribe out, which we'll tap for 4 green with that late line of abundance. Super nice, but that is all we can do. So we'll put the hand down here. We're gonna have to pass turn and let Rasheen take his turn. Not having the fastest starts over here, but not too bad. We drew a forest, but we want to see what we exile before we play land. So we'll swing, and when he attacks, choose one. Exile the top 2 cards of your library, choose one of them. Or it does 3 damage to each opponent. So we're going to exile the top 2 and choose one of them that we can cast until the end of the turn. We got a mountain and a forest here. I think I want to go, I already got some forest, but I have some cards in here that accelerate forest even more. So I'm going to call the forest the one I can cast at the end of the turn. Where the rest go? It'll just exile. So this other mountain is exiled permanently. And after combat, we're going to be playing this forest, of course. This guy takes 3, not going to block with his 4 mana tapper. And of course, we're going to play this forest. And now we got more land for later. So I think the play here now is Rasheen. So we drop Rasheen from the command zone. Can't use it right away, but we'll pass turn. And back to Yorvo it is. Yorvo draws a forest. That was actually kind of needed. We've been missing land drops. But we got 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 mana here on Yorvo's side. Pretty big deal. I'm going to scoot these down so I have room. 9 mana, what can we do? Well, first of all, we could do... Well, we'll wait to tap him because this guy taps for even more if we get 4 creatures. And we're about to get 4 creatures, so we'll get 3 more mana here. Okay, so we tapped for 4, 5, 6, 7. We've got 7 mana. We use, let's see here. Yeah, now this isn't going to work as well as I thought, but it'll still be okay. Yeah, we're going to play Yorvo here. Yorvo. He is the commander. So that means we've got 4 mana left. And it looks like we are going to have to tap this Leafkin to get up to 6 mana. And I think at this point we're going to play 6 mana. Let's see, I could do the Auspicious Starix and see what I get. That might actually be pretty good. I think I'm going to do that onto the Leafkin Druid. So that way the Leafkin Druid is bigger and harder to deal with, being a 6/6 now. I'll put it over top. And it also still has the Leafkin Druid ability. So let's do this proc. We reveal cards from the top of your library into exile X permanent cards, or X is the number of times it's mutated. Put those permanent cards into the battlefield. So just one mutate here, just one proc. Let's see what we get. It's a Field of Ruin, and it does go onto the battlefield. Very nice. So Field of Ruin helps. It might be able to take out a troublesome land later. It just kills a non-basic and each player searches. Pretty cool little card. Alright, so we've got that in play. That ramps us a little, and Yorvo, of course, has 4 counters on him. So we'll go ahead and put his 4 counters, and we are done. That is all that can do. Back to Rasheen here. Rasheen is going to be real scary. This deck blows up suddenly, and will just kill very suddenly. We get another mountain. Let's go ahead and swing with the Tectonic Giant and do the double exile. Well, I don't know. He does have a Yorvo. So Yorvo will stop him. Okay, let's do this instead. Okay, I guess we're going to play a land. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We've got 6 mana, 4 additional mana for X stuff. Our only X thing is a Lifeblood Hydra right now. I kind of want to get the Zendikar's Resurgent out so I can draw cards, but I don't have enough. So it looks like I'm going to have to stick with either Lifeblood Hydra or Doubling Cube. Let's go ahead and do the Doubling Cube for 2 mana and have that ready for next time. Let's see, it takes 3 to activate this, so we can't really do anything too great there. But we can definitely pass turn and see what this guy does. Okay, so we're back to Mr. Super Tap Mana. Green player draws another forest, put that right into play, and also got a Zendikar Resurgent. I love this card. It pretty much goes in all my green decks because it just ramps your mana and gets you to draw a bunch of cards. It's super good, super strong. But the Deep Forest Hermit is going to buff up Yorvo a bunch because when green creatures come into play, he gets a 1/1 counter. This puts 5 creatures in play, including it, so he's going to get 5 1/1 counters. With Zendikar Resurgent out first, I could even get more mana. Yeah, let's give it a try. So we're gonna tap here for 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, that's 6. Then we'll do 7 there. So 7 is enough for Zendikar Resurgent. We play the Zendikar Resurgent, and now all our lands tap for double. So we can go 2, 4, 6, 8 mana. 8 mana is enough for Deep Forest Hermit, which comes in with 4 squirrels and himself, so that's 5 more counters on the Yorvo, bringing him up to a 9/9. Let me see, I probably got some squirrels right over here somewhere. Let me see. No, we're going to use soldiers. Just pretend these soldiers here are squirrels, and we'll just go with it. So there's 4 1/1 squirrels that are now actually 2/2s because the Deep Forest Hermit's buff. There we go, keep them nice and lined up. They're very slippery cards. And as you see, we need like a divider here. We're running out of space, but we're managing to do it on 1 mat. Sometimes you just have to stack things if you want to if you're a little limited on space. And I think at this point, see, we could send Yorvo. He's just going to block with the giant and get 2 cards, but the giant will die. I mean, that's probably what would happen. So, but this deck needs to go aggressive. Oh, we did cast a creature spell, so we get to draw a card. And also, before we go to combat, we do have 3 mana still floating. So what we can do is play Beastmaster Ascension with that 3 mana and start getting it buffed, because it says whenever creature control attacks, put a quest counter. Once there are 7 or more quest counters, all your creatures have +5/+5. So we can get that thing going, and we might get out of control pretty quick. We'll play it. We will send Yorvo. 1 counter goes onto the Beastmaster Ascension, and we are all out of mana. But next turn we do have a Kogla and Elvish Mystics. You know, now in retrospect, maybe I should have brought out Kogla and fought the Rasheen, but too late. No takebacks. Let's see, do we block Rasheen? No, I think this deck just takes it. So we're going to go down to 20, and that's 9 commander damage. Alright, and then that's it. Hopefully we can make a big comeback. We've got the Doubling Cube and Machine and a new untap phase. We get a Comet Storm. Comet Storm's actually pretty good here. And let's just do some end of turn. I wanted to play end of Yorvo's turn, play Wildborn Preserver. It's free because that stuff's going to untap. But that gives us another creature on the board, so we'll go ahead and do that. Now let's just do some calculating. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 mana. So if we go like so, kind of disregarding color, we got the right color, we just gotta... Okay, so 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So with 11 mana there, we're gonna use 3 of it to activate Doubling Cube. And we're down to 8 mana, but that doubles to 16. 16 mana. And 8 of that is for X only. So we still have another 8 mana of colored whatever we want. So we can cast our X spells big time. Big time. There might even be a more clever way of doing this. No, there's not. I can't get the Zendikar Resurgent out in time. But 16 mana is no thing to laugh at, and I can dump any extra into the Wildborn Preserver too, because he can use that X mana, which is a super cool thing if I'm playing a creature. That's why I want him in play. 16 mana. Let's see, we could use Comet Storm and kill some stuff. We could bring out a really giant Lifeblood Hydra. I like the idea of the really giant Lifeblood Hydra. We could make him a 13/13. Let's just do it. Plop. 13/13. You know, let's just make him a... Yeah, 13/13 is fine. We'll just use this dice here. So there we go, 13/13. And we'll just remember this stack taps for 16 basically. That'll keep our turn simplified. But now we're done. We're passing turn. And of course, vanishing counters on the Deep Forest Hermit. He lowers by 1. We're going to untap and draw. And we have drawn a super awesome card called Berserk. I think we have the game, actually. There's just not much this other guy can do. We've got a Berserk. Let's think about this a little bit, though, before we go all in with whatever we're going to do. So we want to attack with 6 creatures at least so we can get some Beastmaster Ascension buff. And we want to save 1 green mana so we can Berserk. And that should be enough to end our opponent. Berserk gives Trample. In case you don't know, it's a super old card. It's going to plus X. Focus. Focus. There we go. Only before the damage step, plus X and Trample, where it's going to double something's power and give it Trample, basically. So, yeah, super good. We will go ahead and play an Elvish Mystic, which puts a counter on Yorvo. So he's now a 10/10. I'm just going to go over here, and it allows us to draw a card with Zendikar Resurgent. We do have 1 floating. And we're going to tap a little bit more. 1, 2, 3. That gives us 4 colorless plus the 1 floating. We're going to cast Skyshroud Claim. Skyshroud Claim is going to resolve. Give us 2 untapped forests. So we still have a colorless floating here. I'm not going to really shuffle too much, just whatever. Oh, almost got a triple forest accidentally. I'm cheating. Okay, so we're going to put that back over there. Got our new forest. We still have Kogla. We could fight something to get it out of the way. Yeah, I think we'll do that. So we're going to go 1, 2. Oh, that's 4 plus 5 from the 1 left over. And 6, 7. We still have 1 floating. We'll bring Kogla out. And that is going to buff Yorvo once again. We'll switch up the counters here. He's now an 11/11. Kogla is going to fight. Let's see, what would I fight if I were smart? If I were smart, what would I fight? I think I would fight Rasheen. So there's just to shut him down just in case. So yeah, we're going to fight Rasheen. Rasheen dies. This thing's got summoning sickness. And now what we're going to do is we're going to get this Beastmaster Ascension going. 1, 2, and let's see, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 6 creatures. We don't even have to attack with our mana critters, although we want to end the game, so let's send them anyway. That puts a bunch of counters on Beastmaster Ascension, 9 I think. So all of these get +5/+5, and let's see, let's just do some quick calculations. He would block here, he would block here, he would block probably the Deep Forest Hermit or one of these, I guess. No, probably the 6/6 to try to survive. Yeah, so this would get smashed. This one would get smashed. Well, no, never mind. He's got +5/+5. I guess he would just block a... I don't know. Yeah, I guess this is the biggest other one to block, so we'll block it. But we do get to exile 2 cards and play them into the end of the turn. Not really useful. Those are not instant, so... Alright, so let's calculate this. Well, first of all, it's pretty obvious that Yorvo is going to get berserked. So he went from 16 power to 32 power, so they take trampling, and it looks like 19 trampling. If I'm calculating this right. Yeah, 19 trampling, and then gain 13. So they're still down 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's just calculate that real quick. And he's also going to draw like 13 cards over here. It'll be something like this, but he is all tapped out. It doesn't matter. And we got all these. It's 7, 7, 7, 7, 7, 7, 7, 7, 21 damage, a bunch more damage. 30 something. Yeah, it's a big squish. So Yorvo absolutely squished Rasheen that round. Pretty cool match. Pretty cool match. Didn't get to play the Comet Storm. Maybe I should have. I don't know. Maybe I should have Comet Stormed and killed a couple things. I don't know. Rasheen got outpaced there. That was a good match, but there you go. So you can shuffle it up, start it over, and do it again if you want. And that's how you can play your commander decks against each other, test them out, see how they do, feel out the cards, without having to get your whole group together and making the mistakes live in front of your group or whatever. So hope that helps someone out there. I know it's a pretty obvious thing, but I think some people don't do this. I do this occasionally. It is kind of a lame feeling after a game or two, since you're just playing by yourself, but it's also kind of nice to be able to just test your decks and see how cards play together without having to holler at everybody and wait for everybody else. If you want to just get it done and get to it, you can just do this. All right. Well, thanks for watching a video on MTG Ownage. Let me know what you think. We'll see you in the next one. Peace out, guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and know that Matt cares.